Number 23. The proud and the arrogant. The proud and the arrogant. In Proverbs chapter 16 verses 5, Bible says, "The Lord detests all who are proud in their hearts." In the Message translation, I love how the Message translation puts it. The Message translation says that God can't stomach arrogant and pretentious people. God cannot just keep them. God cannot stomach it. And if God cannot stomach arrogant and proud and pretentious people, it means pride and arrogance chokes. Pride and arrogance chokes. Pride and arrogance cannot help any relationship. It gets the other person to be punished emotionally. And Bible says, in quotes, even God cannot stomach proud, arrogant, and pretentious people. Beloved, there are so many people who are proud and they are arrogant. Meanwhile, some others have some attitude that they don't even know that it is pride and arrogance. We may have different names to call it, but all together the same. The Bible refers to it as being proud and arrogant. You may have seen certain traits in your potential partner. You may not be able to understand it, or you may have some other names for it. You can describe it. But actually, its name is pride and arrogance. We are going to study some outward expressions of pride. I would like you to pay attention to these things, note them down, so that you can open up discussions and begin to pray about it if you really want to deal with these things in your potential partner. Number 1, the proud are unthankful. It's too belittling for them to express gratitude. At most, they can just say thank you. But pride in their heart does not allow them to emotionally express gratitude. No, they won't. No matter what you do for them, they won't. They don't want you to know that they have been so touched by what you did, or that what you did is so impressive. They don't want you to have that feeling. But rather, they are the type that demand gratitude. If they do something for you, they will come after the gratitude. They will tell the whole world what they did for you. And yes, in certain cases, you have to pay for what they did for you. And Bible said that, in quotes, even God cannot stomach arrogant people. Point it out to your partner. Number 2, arrogance does not allow someone to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for their mistake or what they did wrong or what they said wrong to be discussed. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to them. For them to discover or for it to be discovered that they are wrong, they are not going to take it. They are not going to take it. And so you better leave the conversation, or they are going to get offended and defensive. Arrogance does not say, I am sorry. To a remorse, express that they are sorry for what they did, they accept they are wrong, it never happens. On the other hand, they are very good at pointing people to their wrong, very good at finding faults. They are going to hold you to one wrong that you did. Meanwhile, if you should want to point out anything that has offended you, no, they cannot be wrong. That is arrogance. That is a red flag. These things have to be discussed and corrected by the spiritual leader who is overseeing the relationship. Otherwise, you shoot yourself in the foot. Number 3, arrogance does not listen to advice. In your quest to want to advise, they make comments like, "Are you the one going to advise me?" Even if they listen to your advice, immediately they begin to tell you why your advice is too vague. Or even if they listen to the advice, you realize that they never do what you suggested. They can listen to it, but they never implement any of those things. That is pride. Number 4, the pretentious and arrogant, they have a know-it-all attitude. Know-it-all attitude. You realize that anytime you want to extend your knowledge or helping hand, they are always sufficient. Example, he's trying to use the rice cooker, but he doesn't know how to use it. Now, you want to teach him. As soon as you want to make that extension to want to help and to teach, no, I know it already. So you hear those comments, they are very uncomfortable to be seen to not know something. They always want to present themselves all-knowing. So pay attention to these things when you are having conversations with your potential partner. Pay attention to these things. Don't only be intrigued by, "I miss you, I love you." No, when you are having discussions about different things, these are the things which will unveil hidden traits and personalities that you may have to manage for life. They are always all-knowing. There is nothing to be added to them. Never thanking you for your contributions. Number 5, pride can be expressed as being easily angered. As big as somebody's pride is, that is how easily they can be angry and offended. A great man of God once said that offense is actually telling the presence of some pride. And I think it's true, because to some extent, without an inner pride, then what at all would offense? But because pride has been hurt, that causes offenses. And so the proud are easily angered. And when they are angry, they are harsh and unthoughtful with their words. Number 6, who is that person who takes the fantasy to want to have others hurt? That is a proud person. Number 7, the proud person has a sense of entitlement. Even though you are not married yet, just a friendship, they have a great sense of entitlement. You should do what they say. You may be dealing with a very proud guy or a very arrogant lady. And so be careful. Number 8, the proud are self-willed in their life. Self-willed in their life. You can hardly change their mind. It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. It may happen in 1 or 2 things, but then if you consistently realize that this is their pattern, they don't change their mind, that is pride at work. Number 9, you hear a statement like, "I'm talking and you are also talking." that is an expression of arrogance. Number 10, the proud are rebellious. They are rebellious. You always hear the person having conflict with people, especially their leaders. They don't understand why their leaders are making this decision. They are always condemning some decisions and some things that their leaders and others have done. That is an indication of pride and arrogance. The person may be expressing as though in sincerity they are expressing their concern, but you realize that they always have issues. That is the expression of pride. Number 11, the proud look down on others. They look down on others. And so check how they relate with the cleaner, the security person, the one selling in the market. Check how they relate and talk with them. You can realize that they speak to undermine. There are those who say that just a common cleaner, just a common sales girl, just a common security person, and you are talking to me like this. When you hear such statements, please run to your spiritual leader and tell your spiritual leader who is supervising your relationship that you need help. You need help before you enter into marriage. You know, in the Bible, we speak of Abigail, who later became David's wife. But Abigail had married a man before she came to marry David. And that man, from the description of the Bible, we realize that that man, Nabal, was an arrogant and a proud person. Meanwhile, when Abigail, who had married him for a long time, will describe him, he used one word. He says, "My husband is a foolish man." Is a foolish man. And so when you realize these things, how the guy spoke to undermine the cleaner, the security person, the one selling, the shop attendant, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?" When you hear those statements, just know that you need help. Because you are not in safe hands. You are not in safe hands. You met a guy who works or has a high rank position, and perhaps you are just starting in life, but in his conversations, you see that he undermines what you do. That makes you to feel less of yourself. When you realize things like this, run to your Christian leader for help.